It's the National Football League on EA Sports, and we've got the latest chapter of a historic rivalry. It's the New York Giants and the Dallas Cowboys under the lights on Thursday night.
We are sandwiched between Fort Worth and Dallas, Texas, and Arlington at the luxurious AT&T Stadium. Today, boy, what a matchup. Two NFL franchises with so much history, so much tradition, getting set to do battle here, as it'll be the New York Giants taking on the Dallas Cowboys. From up top next to Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. And, folks, we were already excited for this game. And then before the contest, you and I are down on the field outside the white lines.
Yes, we were following the rules.
We were following the rules, and a ball comes over our direction, but we can't see it. Somebody yells heads up, and instinctively you turn around and you snare it one-handed with your off left hand. So now we're really ready for football.
No gloves either.
No gloves.
No gloves. Not like what the guys are wearing playing the game now. But wasn't that a whole lot better than that time we were down there? And I got the coffee spilled on me when I got nailed by the punt returner.
That happened to the Vikings, right?
Yes, a much better job of being heads up this time. Thank you for the notice.
Now we'll see what the right arm of Dak Prescott has in store as the Dallas Cowboys offense sets up shop.
It's been a lot of fun watching him advance in his career. Many people question his ability to throw the football coming out of Mississippi State. He's conclusively answered that question. In addition, a very strong runner and an even better leader.
On play action, Prescott. That is caught by Lamb. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. A good pickup there, 26 yards.
That certainly has to feel good. It's not all the time that the play caller should get all the credit. Sometimes I think in the huddle, the quarterback just says, hey, who's going to make a play for me? I just need something right here. And the end result there, nice first down. Drive keeps moving.
So the drive takes them into Giants territory now, 1st and 10 at the 49-yard line. Here's Prescott. He's going to let this go. Back of the end zone. That's going to be knocked away and incomplete.
You get a sense of what this game plan might be. They think they can take a few home run shots against this defense. They tried it there on the opening drive, but that ball's incomplete.
Now it's 2nd and 10. Throwing, Prescott. He'll fire deep downfield for Lamb. And this is caught inside the 5. And he's going to get this down inside the 5 before he's out of bounds. A big play here for Dallas. 47 yards.
We expected this defense to be tested by this passing game coming into this one, and there's an example on this first possession of the game.
A terrific opening drive has them knocking on the door, 1st and goal. Now hold everything here. We're going to get a timeout by the offense. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this first quarter. So 3 plays, already 1st and goal, and they are wasting little time. Pollard will struggle to get to the line of scrimmage as he'll be tackled back at the 4-yard line. That's going to go as a loss of 2, and it'll be 2nd down.
So often you hear that pep talks don't really work in the heat of the battle, but collectively, This defense has to say to each other, we've been on our heels this whole first drive. This is where we need to dig in. And they got a nice stop right there for a loss on 1st and goal.
Off the play fake, Prescott. They'll roll him out right. And that is caught. Touchdown, Cowboys. Brandon Cooks from 4 yards out. And the Cowboys are on the board first here this afternoon. Let's make no bones about it. On paper, they're the better team. They're at home. That's a strong opening drive.
And just think how many times we've seen this type of a matchup. Just what you said, better team at home should steamroll them. And we've seen it go the other way. Sometimes, though, they buy into it and understand we are the better team. Let's go out and prove it right now.
Aubrey good with a PAT. And that makes the score 7-0. So after the touchdown, Aubrey now to kick this one away. And they'll put up the stop sign there as his guys will get it at the 25. First go on offense for the Giants under the guidance of Daniel Jones, the former Duke Blue Devil.
We knew about the great mind coming out of Duke, and we saw the athletic ability and the potential. Watching it all come together and get better with each passing year, that's been fun. He can throw it deep, throw it short, and, of course, take off out of the pocket and beat you with his legs as well.
Jones and the Giants now with a 1st and 10 at their 25-yard line. They'll start out on the ground, and Saquon Barkley. He'll be dropped after a gain of about 6 across the 30 to the 31.
A quick burst there, and he nicely bit off a pretty decent gain.
They'll come up now 2nd and 4 from the 31. On the draw, this is Barkley. And tackled down after a gain of 3. Leaves him with 1 yard to go on 3rd down. That's some good tackling there to keep him short of that yellow line.
Yeah, defensively, all I'm thinking is that on that play, get me to 3rd down. Get me into a position where I can make one more play and get my defense off the field.
They'll try to run for it with Barkley. And he's able to get the first before he's taken down at the 36.
Well, partner, none of these runs individually have added up to a whole lot.
Now, 3 plays, all 3 short runs, but together a 1st down.
Yeah, it's amazing how the narrative changes when you string them together.
Now Jones. Eluding the pressure right. And he'll protect himself at the end here as he winds up getting pretty decent yardage. He'll get 8 on the scramble there. It'll be 2nd and a couple.
I do think it's fair to say that they were caught off guard a little bit when he decided not to throw it on 1st down. But give them credit. They recovered in time to deny him the 1st down yardage. But it's only 2nd and short. So that run is still likely to lead to a new set of downs.
2 yards the loss, and now they go from 2nd and 2 to a tough 3rd and 4. And not a lot of success to be found there.
Oh, you got that right, partner, because if you're trying to make guys miss about 10 yards or so downfield, that's a pretty good play. But if you've got to do it in your own backfield, I consider that a problem. That doesn't work too well.
3rd and 4. Throwing, Jones. Able to find the open man. That's complete. And all the way in. Touchdown, New York. Sterling Shepard, 58 yards. And the Giants respond to that opening drive touchdown with one of their own. So on 3rd and medium, they dial up the pass, and it works to hit the end zone.
And it's really not a surprise to me. That's a throwing down in the NFL because of how tough it is to run the football. But what offenses like to do is still show run formations to make them respect it and throw out of those. In this case, they took a nice shot at the end zone and made it pay off.
Gano the extra point, and we are tied at 7. Each team's had it. Each team has scored. 7-7 here as the kick's away. And able to take it past the 25 and up to the 28-yard line. Second drive forthcoming here for the Dallas Cowboys. And they'll be looking to build off of a nice drive last time, a drive that really relied on the quarterback.
Making good decisions, distributing the ball well, distributing it accurately, keeping it away from danger. A really nicely run drive.
But now the defense, what adjustments do they need to make in the passing game?
Pass rush, pass rush, pass rush. Whether it's the guys up front or maybe you bring additional guys, but you've got to disrupt the timing of them throwing the football.
We'll see if they can disrupt it here. It'll go as an impressive 31-yard gain.
Well, partner, I'm not sure how this drive's going to end, but how about the way they flip field position there? A nice attacking play that picked up a heck of a chunk of yardage.
So the big play gets him across midfield now for 1st and 10. Prescott to throw it. That one down the field for Ferguson. And he knocks the ball away, and it falls incomplete.
I like the thought process there. They connected on a big play, and sometimes you find the defense vulnerable. So they went for the bigger shot, went for it all on that one. This time, they were ready for it.
Here's 2nd and 10. Prescott now. Swinging this out for Pollard. And they're going to have another 1st down as the tackle's made at the Giants' 29-yard line. These two teams all tied after one. Start of the 2nd quarter, and it's the Cowboys in possession as they've got it with a 1st and 10. Prescott yet again. A short one there taken in by Ferguson. And this will leave him a yard short. Nice pickup of 9 yards on 1st down.
Nice rhythm throw there on 1st down. He located his tight end, made it a nice easy pitch and catch.
Hoping he can break a tackle or two. Wasn't able to do that there, but still good yardage. From the 20, here's 2nd down and a yard. They run straight ahead here with Pollard. And that play going absolutely nowhere as he's belted before he could get out of the backfield. It's a loss of 4. Now 3rd down.
We all have habits. We can be somewhat predictable, and you know me pretty well on 2nd down and short. What I like to see?
Play action.
Yeah, without a doubt. I thought that was a great spot to call it. Instead, didn't go their way, did it?
No, defense sold out for the run. Worked out well. This is caught for a Cowboy touchdown. 2 first-half touchdown passes now for Dak Prescott. And the Cowboys have taken the lead.
That's almost just not right. You cover everybody. But those tight ends, they can be awfully reliable.
Very reliable. The defense just has to hate those guys.
Just drives them crazy because oftentimes you can't match up with them. They have you either with size, speed, or maybe even just strength.
Aubrey now for the PAT. And he's got it. It's now a 14-7 ball game. A drive that time of 6 plays. And it's capped off with a Cowboys touchdown. And this will not be returned. It's a touchback, and they'll begin at the 25. So the Giants getting the football back here for their 2nd drive. They trail a 1-score deficit, 14-7, as they come up 1st and 10. Jones fakes the give to Barkley. Throw right side, taken in by Bellinger. It'll be a gain of 5, and that will bring up 2nd down.
Nice play call, a little bit of play action right there. If you can get those linebackers to freeze for just a split second, that's usually all the room you need in order to get it to your tight end.
Looking to throw again on 2nd down. Jones under a heavy rush, and down he goes. Micah Parsons showing off that elite athleticism as he gets the sack. And that sack, Charles, just looked like a case where a speedy defensive end is a little bit quicker than the offensive tackle.
Yeah, it makes it difficult for a tackle to determine what exactly to do. Do you do the kick slide and try and get back in the pocket and meet him there? Do you meet him on the line of scrimmage where they call a quick set? In any event, right now, he's out.
There goes Sterling Shepard. Touchdown, Giants. Sterling Shepard. 2 catches, 2 touchdowns here so far. And the Giants are within an extra point of tying up this ball game. Well, only the 2 catches for him thus far, CD, but both of them have resulted in touchdowns.
And I think he's on the bench right now, Brandon, smiling at his position coach and telling him, all those times you talked to us about efficiency, I'm living it right now.
Extra point try good by Gano, and we are tied at 14. So the drive there, they went 80 yards in 3 plays, and it was polished off by a Giants touchdown. Now a crease here as he's past the 30. And all in all, a pretty solid return. Nearly got it to the 35. They'll mark him down officially at the 34. Here's the Dallas offense now, heading back out onto the field. And right now, we've got a little bit of an offensive masterpiece going on both sides, moving the football, scoring points. Put the defense on rookie mode in this one. I mean, we haven't even left the first half, Charles, and we're certainly on pace for a shootout.
An excellent start for both offenses. The fans have to be enjoying this to see all these points go up on the board. As a former defender, you know I'm not enjoying this at all, but right now, both these teams just trading haymakers. Let's see if anyone slips up first. Can anyone counter with a nice little jab and get things going in their direction?
Here's 2nd and 3. Here's Prescott. All right, rifles one, and that's going to be intercepted. Picked up by the USC man, Adoree Jackson. And the Giants are going to take over at their own 28-yard line. He's certainly not been afraid to take some chances downfield. Now, look, it's paid off for him a couple of times. That time, not so fortunate.
And that's where I want to start, what you said. It's paid off a couple of times. So his aggressiveness has been good for his offense for the most part. So he throws an interception there. No one likes that, but I would not rein him back in. The return on investment thus far has been pretty good. 2 touchdowns to 1 interception.
Jones and the Giants now with a 1st and 10 at their own 28-yard line. They'll try and start this drive in the air. And that'll be incomplete.
No receivers open downfield, so instead of forcing the ball to the sideline, he's going to throw this one down to Fort Worth. He'd rather have the incompletion than the turnover.
2nd and 10. Jones with a handoff to Barkley. And he's going to be met at the line of scrimmage and taken down. No gain on that one as it brings up a 3rd and 10. You don't see that a ton, do you? With the cornerback coming over to the middle of the field to make a run tackle.
That's someone with a ton of confidence to feel like nothing is pressuring him on his side of the field. Sees that the ball's moved to the middle and just sprints over there to help out. He ends up getting the tackle. Well played.
To throw on 3rd down, Jones. And he works his way past the line of scrimmage and then slides to a hole. The decision to tuck and run gets him 3, but that's not enough. Now it's 4th.
Nice call on defense, rolling out the nickel package for that big 3rd down play, and they did an excellent job locking down coverage and forcing him to try and run for it, and he doesn't get there, which brings up a big 4th down call.
On 4th down, Jamie Gillen on to punt for the Giants. Devontae Turpin deep for the Cowboys. And taken right on the 30. A very nice punt that time, but they get 11 back on the return. And the Cowboys will take over the football with a 1st and 10. The Dallas offense back out onto the field. And we'll see if they can bounce back from that last drive, in particular if they can bounce back at the quarterback position, Charles, after throwing their first interception of the ball game.
Yeah, and some guys, they're going to want to try and get a big play right away and take control back. Others, they're going to look to hit a couple shorter passes, get a little momentum back that way.
But for the defense, that goal's not changing a bit. They want another pick.
You're exactly right about that. In fact, you've got to watch them a little bit because in coverage, they may cut down their gaps a little bit, maybe their splits a little bit in order to try and get to the ball even faster.
A first down throw for Prescott. He'll fire this deep for Gallup. And that is caught at the 10-yard line. And he's taken down, but not before reaching the 10-yard line. 34 yards to gain that time, another first down.
From talking with defensive backs and their coaches over the years, they hate to see four guys in a route like this because the safeties are often occupied. It creates indecision. They're unsure about who goes with who. And the quarterback, he just reads the most vulnerable safety and takes advantage of it for a big play here.
So now following the big play, they've got a first and goal all the way down at the 10. Final play of the half. Prescott buying time to his left. Toward the end zone, but that's going to wind up incomplete. So we've hit halftime all even at 14 apiece. As we send you on over to Orlando for Jonathan Coachman in our EA Sports Halftime Report. Take it away, Coach.
All right, BG, thanks very much, and welcome one and all to our beautiful new downtown Orlando studios for this EA Sports Halftime Report. We thought this one would be a close battle coming in, and we have not been disappointed. They're all even to this point. This has the feeling of a game that could go right down to the wire. One mistake or one big play could turn out to be the difference. Both teams making their final preparations for this second half of action. So with that, let's get you back out to Arlington, where we rejoin Brandon and Charles.
Okay, Coach. Yeah, adjustments likely going to play a big role in this third quarter in what's been a tight contest so far. And he will not bring it out. It's a touchback. The Giants offense set to begin this third quarter. This offense ready for the first drive of the third quarter. Well, quarters number 1 and 2 entertaining. We saw some good offense points put up, Charles, and all tied on the scoreboard.
And it sets us up for what could be a really fun second half because we've seen both sides score almost at will here in the first half. And now, here in the second half, getting the ball first, you got to think, hey, we can go out and really run our offense the way we did in the first half. But if I'm a defensive player, all I'm thinking is, can I make a play to really help out my team and break this streak of offense?
After the sack, it's 2nd and 19, and the road gets a bit tougher from here. Barkley, inside handoff. They'll get him to the ground at the 20 following a pickup of 4.
I'd say they've got to find a way to get him going. He's such a big part of their offense. I wonder if they might throw it a little and come back to the run.
Anything, because you're right. He's pretty much been completely neutralized. Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. And this is going to be incomplete.
And so many times we look at the opening drive of the third quarter as a tone setter, and many coaches do emphasize it, and that's a strong performance there defensively to force incompletion and, more importantly, force a quick punting situation.
Here's Jamie Gillen now as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. Just a 30-yard punt that time. And the Cowboys are going to take over in great position here with a 1st and 10. Now we take a glance at the offense as they work their way back out for their first possession of the second half. On 1st and 10, Prescott. He's letting it fly for Cooks. And he bats it away, and it falls down incomplete.
They decided the opportunity was there and launched a deep ball, but he was unable to get away from the defender, couldn't create space, couldn't uncover at the end of the route, and that one winds up incomplete.
third quarter, all tied up. This is 2nd and 10. To throw is Prescott. Steps away to his left. Here's a screen now for Pollard. And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. That one a gain of 20 and a first down.
And when you have success throwing the football, the old cliche becomes true. The playbook opens up wide, and these screen passes, they become even more difficult to stop.
Prescott looks to throw on first. And that is incomplete, but a penalty flag is down. This could possibly be a push-off. Looked like some hands both ways. They got it on the offense.
Sometimes there's a fine line between being the receiver and the DB, and he knocked that one away. Might have caused an incompletion that could have been an interception.
Now Prescott, escaping the pressure right. He lets this one fly toward the back of the end zone. And that'll be incomplete with a penalty flag here on the field. And I'm not sure he was still behind the line when he let that thing go. So they're going to decline that and choose to bring up 2nd down.
So did you feel like maybe this is just a mistake that they don't take the penalty
possibly.
here? Either that or they feel like their defense just cannot be moved on very well, and they'd rather go ahead and use the downs.
Play action now. Prescott forced out to his left. Pollard here once again, back-to-back catches. And he's taken down, but not before reaching the 10-yard line. Give him 30 yards there.
When you get into the second half of the tie ball game, you start realizing that every play takes on a bigger significance, and this is pretty significant right here. This is where you start putting the pressure on that secondary, and that's a job well done there.
So now, following the big play, they've got a 1st and goal all the way down at the 10. To the air again, Prescott. Flush to his right. And he'll get this down inside the 5 to the 4 before he's out of bounds. The improv on the scramble there gets him 6, and it'll be 2nd down.
I did like his decision-making there to make sure they picked up something instead of forcing a throw. Now they've got more manageable play coming up to try and pick up the 1st down, and don't rule out the possibility that he just keeps it and runs again.
Rolling to his left. And he takes a shot on the release as this will be incomplete.
Well, Brandon, we see why it's a team game there, because there's a sigh of relief that they just released defensively. If he's able to get that one away, that's likely a touchdown. But instead, that pressure from the front got to him and forced the incompletion.
You're right. He had him open, just a split second too late on the release. Prescott on 3rd and goal. Rush coming, and he's taken down. Finally hauled down for the first time this game. Multiple defenders in there to drop him.
3rd and goal, they decided to throw for it, but how about the play defensively? Couldn't find anyone open, left him nowhere to go with the football, had to absorb the sack.
A field goal would break the tie, but look at this. Instead, they're going to go for it on 4th and goal. Prescott out to his left. Mike McCarthy took the gamble, didn't pay off. And the Giants are going to get the football back. And you wonder, Charles, could that decision come back to haunt them later?
And it really could, because in this situation, you kick the field goal in a tight game like this, that's a good play. Yeah. But maybe what he's saying to himself is, I'm just not a big proponent of the old idea that any possession that ends in a kick I'm happy with. He wanted to be really aggressive.
A little twist here in the third quarter. Jones and the Giants now with a 1st and 10 from back at their own 10-yard line. They'll come out throwing here to start the drive. And this turns into disaster. He's not going to get forward progress. That'll be a safety.
At this point, I think it's a surprise when he isn't close to being sacked on a passing down. The amount of times he's hit the deck today, I think a lot of us are reading safety before they even took the snap. Simply a merciless pass rush every step of the game, and that rush earns a crowning achievement there.
After the safety, remember, they also need to give up the football, and here's the free kick. Dallas offense set for this next drive. And they've got the lead here getting late into the third quarter. And the passing game for them, it's been terrific. We've seen that, but the rushing game almost non-existent.
And with the lead and trying to finish this game off, they need the running game to come back to life. They need to get sparked that way, take some time off the clock, and keep the ball away from their opponents.
Prescott off play action. On the move to his left. And he'll be corralled out across midfield down to the 45. Able to make something out of nothing there. 17 yards and a first down.
He's starting to fall into the category of not fair, because when he's on target throwing the ball, he's dangerous. But when you add in his ability to make plays with his feet, almost impossible.
Well, yeah, exactly. They've had trouble stopping him in the secondary. This time they've got the great coverage. Oh, he can run too. And this is dropped. Oh, it's incomplete. He had a big gainer in his sights, but he could not reel it in.
And this was a little bit of the knock on him coming out of college. Sometimes the concentration could wander a bit. This should have been a big play, but somehow he's not able to corral it.
Now Prescott. Oh, and a bad throw there. It's intercepted. It's Deonte Banks with it. Down the sideline he goes. And he will bring it back. It's a pick-6 and a Giants touchdown. So this whole game gets flipped on its ear right there. The interception, return for a touchdown, and this lead changes hands here in the third quarter.
And it certainly felt like this defense had a read on what was going on the offensive side of the ball and said, let's cut down our coverage a little bit. Let's be in a position to make a play on the ball. And, boy, that sure turned out well for them.
Gano for the extra point. He's got it, and it's now a 21-16 lead. So the defense creating some points, not only getting the interception, but then returning it to the end zone for the pick-6. So they'll get another shot on offense following that pick-6, and now the kick is away. And he'll decide to not bring this one out as their drive will begin at the 25. The Dallas offense here set to begin the drive. Thanks to their defense for getting him 2 points closer. Now the question, what can this unit come up with offensively as they begin here following the free kick? So the drive's going to start with Pollard. He's going to be out of bounds on what's going to wind up being the final play of quarter number 3. 1 quarter remains here in this Thursday night matchup. We'll return with more after this break. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. Back now in Arlington. It's the Cowboys in possession of the football, but they trail here as we begin the fourth quarter of play. Here's a 2nd and 2 now from the 33. on the draw. It's Pollard. And he'll be brought down right around the 37. 4 yards the pickup, first down.
And Brandon, you know that expression? He just does what he does. It sounds trite, doesn't it? But in this case, it's perfectly apt. This is one of the better runners in the NFL. And all he does is just find avenues, find ways to pick up key first downs and big runs.
Now left side, a completion to his tight end. Now he's going to get this all the way down inside the 35. He got 29 yards that time.
And here we are in the fourth quarter, partner, and we watch them drive for what would be a go-ahead touchdown. And you and I both know this is where you need a quarterback who can keep his cool back there. Not just for himself, but to keep the rest of the team relaxed too.
So the drive takes him into Giants territory now. 1st and 10 at the 34. Out of the gun, a give to Pollard. He'll get a nice chunk there on the first down run, and it's 2nd and 4.
That play wasn't quite as big as the play that preceded it, but still, gotta like the way they're moving the football, partner.
Absolutely. Pretty good room to run on that last play.
Yeah, they didn't get a first down, but still, you'll take runs like that each and every time, won't you?
They go back to Pollard on 2nd down. Trying to run inside, but nothing there. No gain on the play that time, and they'll look to convert on what will be a 3rd and 4.
As usual, the hallmark of a good run defense, linebackers making plays near the line of scrimmage. Absolutely nowhere to run there.
Here's Prescott. And this ball is caught by Lamb. Touchdown, Dallas. 3 touchdown passes now for Dak Prescott. And the Cowboys have moved out in front here in the 4th quarter. And when the quarterback drops and has a guy that wide open in the end zone, his eyes have to get just as big as grapefruits.
Oh, without a doubt. I mean, this is the easiest throw you're going to get, and you're going to get the benefit of a touchdown on top of it. Make that throw.
So now an extra point doesn't help much. They'll try to go for 2 to make the difference a field goal, and they can lead it by 3. Prescott, they're going to throw for it. Dancing to his left. And he'll get into the end zone. So now a field goal would only tie as they up their lead to 3. So after the touchdown, Aubrey now to kick this one away. And this will not be returned. It'll come out to the 25. And possession switching back to the New York Giants. And they will be looking to answer the touchdown their defense just surrendered. Still a good chunk of time remaining here in the 4th quarter and a chance to regain the lead in a tight one. Open target here, Darius Slayton. And from the 25, they work this to the 29, a gain of 4.
Fired that one in there, able to make connection on a nice in route.
With those faster passes when they're going that fast, any hesitation as a quarterback that the deflection, if you miss, might be bigger and lead to an interception?
Yeah, and the deflection works both ways. Maybe a defender gets a hand in the way and it pops in the air. And sometimes you throw it so hard your receiver can't handle it, and he pops it up in the air for the defenders to grab as well.
But a moot point there as they were able to connect. Well, the noise got to be an issue now offensively. Here's 3rd and 6. Now Jones. Pass taken in by his big tight end. And he'll be taken down, but not before they reach the 50. 3 points separating these two sides with 2 minutes left to go in the 4th. So it's Giants football here as we welcome you back. They come up on a 1st and 10, desperately needing a score here on what could be their final drive. From the midfield stripe, they'll look to throw. Flushed out right. And he slides and covers up at the end as he's going to be able to pick up decent yardage.
I like how he hung in there and went through his progressions, but eventually his internal clock went off and told him it was time to make a run for it, and he ends up sliding down with a solid gain.
They come up now on 2nd and 2. Now Jones. They'll set up the screen to Barkley. The Giants going to go ahead and use the first of their timeouts as they'll talk it over here before what will be an important 3rd down. Jones. He finds him again, Saquon Barkley. Nice little juke. And shedding the tackle, and now some room. And he will have a Giants 1st down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion. Here's Jones. And that'll be off the mark, too far out in front, and it's incomplete.
Whew, that's certainly not the worst thing. It stops the clock and lets your offense catch its breath and lets us exhale a little bit. Now I expect them to call a couple plays in the huddle, so they're ready if a tackle happens inbounds.
Another throw on 2nd down, and this one incomplete as well.
Back-to-back incompletions, but we know this is definitely 4-down territory. Time not on their side. I don't think they want to try and get the 1st down in 2 installments. I think they got to go and get it right here, right now.
Now Jones. And this is going to be caught. No, they say it's incomplete.
With that incompletion, reality is staring them right in the face. This entire game is down to the net.
I believe the referee's been buzzed. Yeah, they want to take another look at this call, and it's certainly a big one here late in a tight game. They're taking a peek at whether or not those feet were in bounds, and obviously a big call here in the end zone.
And not just the feet. How about the hands? How's the ball possessed while the feet are hopefully getting down in bounds? That's what they're trying to look at to see if it all comes together.
So the officials and the folks in New York got a second look at this one, and the call is going to be overturned. Gano the extra point, and that will make this a 4-point game. Gano now following the touchdown here to kick it away. And he takes this near the 25. Just a little pass there. Call it to 26. So Dak and the Cowboys down 28-24. A little under 40 seconds to go. They need a touchdown. A field goal is worthless now as they come up on 1st and 10. Here's Prescott. Now a desperation throw deep downfield. And that is incomplete. Took a shot there on 1st down, but he couldn't reel it in.
That's some good closing speed there defensively because that looked open for a minute. But that's great work with the ball in the air. Never gave up, converged on his man, and broke the play up.
He's going to let it fly. And that will be incomplete. Tried to dial up the long one way out there, but it'll be 3rd down. Tried to go for the big one there on 2nd down. Now they're likely down to their final 2 plays.
And you know they've got to keep going for the big shot, right? So defensively, you play what they call top down. Nothing behind you. Make everything get completed in front.
And he will make his way out of bounds. That stops the clock, but they'll have something else to consider now. It's 4th down here.
He didn't like what he saw downfield, decided his best course of action was to take off and run. And that ended up being a gamble that did not pay off for him. Now they would have to gamble again if they want to keep this series going.
No choice but to go. Here's 4th down now. Desperation time. Prescott on 4th. And it's incomplete. They cannot convert, and they turn it over. They had to go for it with such little time remaining, and that'll be just about all she wrote for this one. We've got to have two hands on the football here as they run on first down. And this will be a gain of 5 as he gets it to the 30. And with inside of 10 seconds, 8 to be precise, we get whistles and a timeout on the field. Now 2nd and 5. He's going to get it again. Just looking to get forward and protect the ball. And he is going to have a New York first down, and the Giants are going to win the football game. So a victory here for the men in blue, the New York Giants. And we talk so much about the turnover battle, determining who wins, who loses. This game, no exception. Air-free football, no turnovers at all, and they win it.
So this is one you don't have to convince your team that what you're saying is accurate. And you know what I'm talking about. Head coach always stands up in front of the team and says, guys, if we do this, this, and this, we'll win. And usually they say if we win the turnover battle, we'll win. Well, here's the proof right there. Win the turnover battle, go on to victory. Now the guys believe. You move on to the next lesson where you have to convince them. This one is now planted.
So that'll just about do it for Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gaudin. You've been watching the NFL on EA Sports. For more, log on to easports.com. With that, we say so long from Big D.